Andrea Jaeger was once the face of rising talent in women's tennis. A teen prodigy of the early 1980s, she soared to world number 2 at just 16 years old. But by 19, she had abruptly stepped away from the sport, citing a shoulder injury. It would be decades before the world learned the deeper, darker reasons behind her early exit. Born in Chicago in 1965, Jaeger picked up a tennis racket young and quickly outpaced her peers. At only 14, she turned professional and began an astonishing rise through the ranks. Within 2 years, she had reached the pinnacle of the game, trailing only Martina Navratilova in the global rankings. I turned pro at 14 and worked my way through pre-qualifying to qualifying to main draws. Every experience was new, fun, and exciting, she recalled on the WTA Insider podcast in 2019. Her career highlights were impressive. Finalist of the 1982 French Open and 1983 Wimbledon, and semifinalist at both the Australian and US Opens. With 6 WTA singles titles, she consistently challenged legends like Navratilova and Chris Evert. But behind the scenes, Jaeger was quietly enduring emotional turmoil and abuse. Her sudden retirement at 19 stunned fans and was widely viewed as the result of physical injury and burnout. However, in a 2022 interview with The Independent, she revealed the painful truth. She had been suffering from abuse, harassment, and bullying throughout her time on the WTA Tour. According to Jaeger, she faced cruel treatment from fellow players, including finding her racket strings cut and razor blades placed in her shoes. She also endured frequent, inappropriate comments about her body. My constant thought was, who is the kid here? Me or them? It was gross. It was disgusting, she said. She went on to describe being sexually harassed by a female staff member on the tour, an experience so unsettling that she avoided going to the physio room unless other players were present. These incidents began early in her career and left her feeling unsafe and isolated. Jaeger kept all of this from her family, especially her father Roland, a former boxer with a volatile temper. She even claimed that emotional stress influenced her decision to throw the 1983 Wimbledon final against Navratilova. The night before the match, other parents warned her father about the dangers young players were facing. The confrontation that followed pushed her to the breaking point. The next day, I was so overwhelmed I went on court with no intention of winning, she revealed. The psychological toll of the abuse eventually manifested physically. I was in the hospital having surgery, and I felt safe, Jaeger said. She admitted her injuries were sometimes an escape from the toxic environment. They said I couldn't handle the pressure, but I could win in a tornado. It was never about pressure. It was about surviving. Even as her tennis career unraveled, Jaeger found purpose beyond the court. She began visiting children in hospitals and engaging in charity work, something she found deeply meaningful. However, she was discouraged by WTA executives who reportedly told her that her outreach made the organization look bad. Following a shoulder injury at the 1984 French Open, Jaeger made the decision to retire, this time for good, choosing to focus entirely on service. Giving back was always number one for me, she said. If I could have played pro tennis and done charity full-time, I would have. Reflecting on her journey, Jaeger shared, helping others came naturally to me. I think I had more of a gift for service than for being a cutthroat competitor in an individual sport. After leaving tennis, Jaeger embraced a spiritual path. She studied theology and eventually became an Anglican Dominican nun. In 1990, she founded the Little Star Foundation, a nonprofit that supports children battling cancer and other life-threatening conditions. The organization provides medical care, education, and long-term support to families in need. Andrea Jaeger's story is one of immense talent overshadowed by trauma, but also one of resilience, compassion, and finding purpose beyond fame.